Yo, Spades Gang, welcome to a brand new episode of the BK Spades Show. I am your host, VBK Spades, and I am here with my very lovely co-host.
Novocaine, baby.
All right, Spades Gang, check it out. Listen, do me a favor, head over to www.thebkspadeshow.com where you can get all the merchandise, all the videos, and all that good stuff about the show, all the episodes. Novocaine, let them know what else they got to do for us.
Head on over to Apple Podcasts, leave us a 5-star rating and also a written review. And head on over to Spotify and leave us another 5-star rating.
Leave all the 5-star ratings.
All the 5-star ratings everywhere. Everywhere.
All right, so on today's show, we're gonna have a pretty great episode for you today. We're gonna be talking about police brutality and how we feel about it and where we think we are. I know. I said like great episode, and we're gonna talk about police brutality. I totally understand. But also later on in the show, we got our good friend of the show, Damone Love, coming through. He's gonna be talking with us as well. And later in the show, on the B side, we are talking about what, Novocaine?
Brisk Breezy.
Brisk Breezy. We're talking about Chris Brown and all the random controversies he's been in.
All the random fake outrage.
It's been like 2 or 3 or something like that since the Grammy. So we're gonna talk about that as well. But while let's go ahead and get into this show. I'm still a little rusty from that one break we had a few weeks ago.
We just have that one break. You act like you don't know how to do a podcast no more.
I probably
we came
don't.
back. We had a pretty good episode last week, and now you're talking about you still rusty.
Yeah, you know how it is. Got that old man syndrome or something. I don't know.
See, now that's a whole nother ball game right there.
Speaking of old man syndrome, this is a terrible segue, by the way. The Indie Club, our friends at the Indie Club, dropped a video called Black and Blue. It's on YouTube. Y'all can check them out.
Yes, I was just checking it out.
It's a
shout
really
out to the
good
Indie
song.
Club.
I actually really do dig. Y'all know I like the Indie Club anyway. I'm trying to get on the album, spit some bars or something eventually.
Oh, excuse me?
I got skills. You told me last week I rhymed that one sentence, and I'm like, you know what? I could do that full time.
I mean, do it. Why not at this point? Why not?
Hit a few me's on that thing. I could do it like Drake. Yeah. I could do Drizzy. Sing a couple of notes, grab a few bars. I ain't gotta have like a whole 16, give me about 4. I'm done.
Yeah, true.
You know what though? I'll take the intro. True. Just let me talk on the intro on one of the songs. And like let me do the Diddy thing or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I could definitely see you doing the intro. Or like an interlude.
Yeah, I do interludes. Interludes always seem fun. Everybody likes interludes in music.
I love it.
On the CDs back in the day.
A lot of artists are still doing pretty good with the interludes these days and times, but they're getting back to it. Back in the day though, whew.
Like DMX used to have some good interludes. Neo had 1 or 2 good ones.
Whole Time Public Service Announcement is an interlude. Whole Time.
Yo, listen, I still think DMX might be like the best interluder. His was comically fun.
Ludacris interludes were insane.
Oh yeah, Luda. He does not get enough love.
I gotta give some love to that man named Luda.
I went back and I talked. I was reading through the rest of that list of the greatest rappers of all time, and it was kind of egregious. Like the rest of the list, it was not good. It was some misses. Like I know everybody likes Future, and I know everybody like some of the newer rappers that's out, but y'all was putting like people in front of like Ludacris that shouldn't be nowhere near. It was only a top 50.
Yeah.
And Luda was like 39 or 40. Like what?
Ooh,
what?
That just hurt my chest. Where they put Nelly at? Because I know he's somewhere on there.
Nelly at all.
Hold on, wait. it's chopped up a little bit. Uh-oh. Oh, no. No.
I'm still here. I'm still
Okay.
here. Um, yeah, yeah. I don't know. Listen,
What'd you
before
say about Nelly?
I don't think Nelly made the list. He didn't make the 50. Maybe if he in the top 100 or something, maybe. I don't know.
I thought they loved Nelly. You know, the others.
Yeah, I thought they did too. Nelly dropped that one album a few weeks
And it
ago, and
went
it was, I
diamond.
mean, last year,
Oh,
year for last, something like that.
oh no, not that one. I was talking about that one album like 20 years ago. It went
Oh,
diamond.
all
What
right.
what
Listen,
was it?
I don't know, but we got to
I
get
don't know
into this
either.
conversation.
I don't know either. How
I
we
know
gonna
we was gonna try
how we
to
gonna talk
wait
about
on
what we gonna talk
Damone a
about?
little bit.
How we gonna start this?
If we're being real, um,
How we gonna talk
what's
about
going
this?
on, Courtney? Again, man, thanks for coming through. You were talking
I'm
about the top
already
50.
stressed trying to think about like what what we talking about?
All right, so this police brutality thing. So a few
Oh.
weeks ago, let's start here with our latest major situation. A few weeks ago was Tyree Nichols,
Mhm.
right? And
Mhm.
that was in Tennessee, right?
Mhm.
Um, the narrative of police brutality for a long time has always been white cop does bad things to black people. I
Mhm.
think while this is not the first incident of a black police officer abusing their power in the black neighborhood, it is
Mhm.
probably, I want to say, the biggest incident. Like, I don't know. I don't even know how you would graph these compared to other ones. But what happened to Tyree was extremely heartbreaking. The video was really hard to watch. It was
Mhm.
like what, five officers to one?
Did
What'd
you
you
watch?
say?
Yeah.
Yes, I did watch. I think I watched most of it. I honestly couldn't get through it, and when I heard people say it's gonna be hard to watch, I thought they were doing that thing where they kind of like hyperbolize violence a little bit. Where they, I didn't know he passed away either when I watched the video. So this is
Yeah,
all
he
new.
passed away what like the next day, I think.
Yeah, see, I wasn't keeping up with the story until the video came out. Like what, a week or two later?
The video came out like a week or two later. Yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't know exactly how serious or how violent any of this was because at this point, like a lot of people, I'm fatigued on the police violence, you know?
Yeah.
So when I saw it, my heart immediately broke. Like, man, it was really hard to watch.
I'm sorry that you watched it. And it's so hard to try to figure out words for these type of things because it's like when does it stop? Is it feels like it will never stop. It's like unlimited torture to
Yeah,
to our community. I made sure that I avoided that video. I told myself a few years ago that I was tired of seeing how people being beaten and gunned down and it being plastered all over the internet. Um, our our hardships should not be exploited to the rest of the world,
I
especially in
agree.
situations as egregious, like you said, as this one. Um, especially after hearing everybody describe this video, like how, like you said, it was five of them. They were like taking turns beating him.
At one point, he
Apparently,
fell, and then they picked him back up.
yeah. See, that's too much for me. See, that's too much. That makes me angry, even more angry. And it's like, what can I even do about it? You know. So it kind of makes you feel a little hopeless at the same time. It feels like there's less humanity. Man, these things are heavy. But there was also apparently a point where he was screaming for his mom as well. So like that all of these things just made me even want to avoid the video, even though he didn't die in this video. It's what led
Yeah.
to his death. Um,
I mean, the stop as a whole was egregious. Like it didn't even have to happen.
it didn't
Like,
even have to happen. It didn't
and
even have
what?
to happen. And then apparently, like the cops were like joking around and have it
So
sounded
from
like
what
they were
I'm,
having a good time and they enjoyed beating him.
from what I understand is when it happened, other cops came and they just watched. I think it was 11, 20, 30 minutes or so when the paramedics got there. They just watched his body there, didn't do anything, you know, or something to that effect. It is so many different situations coming up that they're all starting to sound similar and different, and they're all starting to run the same.
Yeah.
But with this one, I guess the best, and I hate describing it, but you kind of have to. Um, if you've seen like gang violence in a movie, and like a recent movie where they kind of have that the real aggressive hits, like
Yeah.
in superhero movies, or something. That's how it
Yeah.
felt. That's how it felt watching that.
Yeah.
And but man, I hate that that happened, and my
And
heart
then
goes out to his family as well.
I don't even know like what led to this. Like, are they trying to say they pull him over because of he did something wrong? Like, I don't even know what led to this.
It's kind of hard to tell about that because really it shouldn't have happened. They should
It
have.
shouldn't have happened. So what was
And
the point of them? They like, what is the story? Let me Google this really quickly
I felt like it was like a
because
stoplight or something was out, you know.
I think that's what it was, right?
Yeah, and see, a few weeks ago we was going to talk about this, but we had to take that quick break. So this is why we're talking about it now because while we don't feel like we are like responsible, like the type of media that has to report this thing, we have talked about police brutality before here, and uh, we've been critical. So just because the narrative change of skin tone and location and what seemingly the city did the things that we was asking them to do for the most part, I still think it's a responsibility for us to talk about this
Oh, they're
because
claiming. I'm
go
sorry. Go
ahead.
ahead. Finish your thought.
No, I was going to say because from what I'm understanding, they had a black woman leading the force. Um, so this is things we were asking for in the reform, and the culture is so strong that even if you do the right things or the things we thought were the right things, diversity hire had black people policing the neighborhood. Even though all of that was in place, the culture itself seems to be so strong that it doesn't change in the instant that everybody assumed it was. Change
Yeah.
happens. Change is a gradual thing, but this scorpion force that they had was way too aggressive. Apparently, they had other incidents that's been reported on. So this is just the worst of it, I believe. So they had a
Mhm.
scorpion unit producing the bad neighborhood, the worst of the worst neighborhoods, and this unit seems like how you watch movies and video games where you have those cops or those special agents that can has just a license to do whatever it takes to
Oh
it
yeah.
it
To
had that
instill
type of
fear. That's what they are actually hired to do. They're
facts.
trying
But
to put fear into the citizens. Period. Especially in, like you said, in those more let down neighborhoods, in those hood areas.
yeah,
Mm. Oh my god. I just read an article really quickly, and was saying that he was pulled over, claiming to that he was recklessly driving, and as soon as he was pulled over, he was being beaten.
yeah,
They
this
pulled him out.
seems
They said I didn't even read the next sentence, but it said they pulled him out, pepper sprayed him, and started beating him into the ground. So
this seems like it was a orchestrated, targeted, personal situation.
most definitely.
And
I'm
why
getting
this
so
si-
bothered. Like, I'm sorry, but like, I'm over here like very fidgety. I don't know if it's on the mic, but like, I don't know how to feel about these things anymore. I'm starting to kind of feel numb, and I feel bad. that I feel numb.
Yeah.
You know, it's very unfortunate that we have come to this, because it's like, when is it going to stop? And it's unfortunate because it feels like it's mostly happening to our people.
I have a few statistics that we're going to go over eventually here about just at least in the recent years, not this year alone yet, but the fact that we are already at an incident this major, and it's only been not even a whole 2 months yet.
Yeah, no,
It's
this happened back in it said it happened January 10th, or he passed on January 10th.
something like that. I
He
think you're right.
passed on January 10th. So that means that the incident happened on the 7th because he died 3 days later.
And it was in the first half of the first
The
month
first
of
week,
the first
basically.
week. Like that's wild to me that we're at a point where we are watching this stuff and we're used to it.
We're
We're
used to
used
it.
to it. And that's the scary part because once you start becoming used to something, you just let it happen.
Mm, that's the
And we
scary
can't
part.
and we can't let that we can't let this be the norm
It
anymore.
cannot be the norm. It can't be the norm. And
So
because at that rate, what's going to happen to our people in 30 years?
I don't know, but I got kids and I want them to be okay. I want them to be able to go outside and get stopped in traffic for a mistake they made and come home. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, if I can prevent them from making mistakes in traffic, I could. But let's just be real. It's an inevitable thing, especially when you're young. You start driving, you make mistakes. It happens. I just
Yeah.
don't want that mistake to be the big one. And this is how I worry about myself as well. Like, I'm always doing the speed limit. If I catch myself not, I'm like, oh, wait a minute, let me slow down, And if I'm driving at night, I'm even more anxious about doing the speed limit and making sure that I'm hitting every turn correctly. I don't want no issues. My music might be loud, but it ain't that loud. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's like you're walking on eggshells,
Yeah.
and it's way past making sure everybody's safe at this point. It's like let's make sure the roads is safe for other people, but also let me make sure they safe so I can get home. You know,
Yeah.
it's sad that this is where we are in this country where we
Now
thinking
I
about stuff like this all
understand.
the
Like, this is the only this is the only instance where I'm okay when people pull out their phone and start recording. Like, most of the time I'm trying to just be in the moment, or sometimes people pull out their phones to try to embarrass somebody, whatever the case may be. But this is the main instance where I'm starting to feel like, yeah, get to recording. As soon as you're pulled over, record. If you got one of those cell phone holders that's on your dashboard or in your windshield, press record on your camera ASAP.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm
because you
I'm
just never
I'm
know.
I'm even team get like a dashboard cam. Make sure you get a good one. They're all not great.
Yeah,
But find a good one that's affordable and just put it in your window.
yeah.
And when those things happen, just reach up, hit the
Because
button.
something isn't right. Something isn't right. And it's the fact that it's like everyone complains about it. These politicians fake care about it. So why is it
Um,
continuing to happen?
don't get me started on the whole politics thing because you know how I feel about politicians. Don't get me wrong. I love watching the political game play out, but not at the expense of life itself and
Yeah,
safety. And we have been putting these same older candidates in, and I know a lot of people have been coming under fire recently here for being ageist when they say stuff like this. But let's just be real here. At a certain point, you stop caring about the generation under you. You start to,
yeah,
and I don't want to say stop caring, but you get to a point where you like, it's about my generation. This is how we feel. This is what we see. And the younger generations be damned. And a lot of the older politicians, these people are 70, 80, pushing 90. Like, this is one Senator Feinstein. Her people put out that she is retiring like last week sometimes or this past week. And then when she was asked about it on camera from the news organizations, she didn't realize that she had collaborated with them to put out the thing that said she was going to retire at the end of her term. Oh,
How old is she?
she's in her pushing 90 if she not.
She pushing 90.
I do believe I think her name is Dianne Feinstein. She's a congresswoman.
And that's why they always try to push this whole ageism thing, especially like these big companies and everything, because our freaking government is being ran by century-year-old people that
That's true.
that's
It's
been
true
around
though.
since Jim Crow. Like, bro, you've been trying to do laws since Jim Crow at this point.
Right? And looking at the headlines of recent events from this whole UFO balloon situation to this what else happened? All the train derailments.
No.
Just looking at these politicians and how they react, even over the last 2, 3 administrations, from Obama to to Trump to now, not much has changed. They keep relying on these same old tropes and these same old situations to get us through and get us by. Like, I kind of see the argument, and this is why I kind of rock with progressives. If I was gonna say I was a part of the political movement, and I've said this before, I am a progressive. Because while I don't agree with every single thing they say, the one thing I do agree with is we need younger people running our country. It is it is time for my generation to start getting into these offices. Because if we go back and we
And
think about
Generation
when,
Z.
yeah, and Z, you're right. So if you go back and you think about how long President Biden has been in any office, how old was he when he first got in his office?
How old is he right now? 82?
Yeah, he's pushing it. He's 82, 83, something like that. Trump is that.
So let's just say that he started his political journey when he got out of college, and that's 21.
So why is
So
it
you
this
telling me
big?
he's been some type of political figure for like 60 years? 60
Yes.
years ago.
Yes, and he's not the only one.
That's what
Because
I'm
if I'm not
saying.
mistaken, I'm hearing stories of him and Chuck Grassley. These cats been running and gunning together this entire time. And
I don't get it.
I don't
I don't
understand it
get it.
either. I don't understand how they looking at our generation and after us, and it's like you're not equipped to handle anything. Like
They won't
what
even
kind of
be
lie is that?
here.
They cannot
God.
tell me how the internet works correctly, okay? They don't know.
They still don't know how to send a fax.
But yet we're supposed to depend on them to regulate trains, to regulate the police officers, to regulate anything, the food, all of this. They still drop. Listen, listen. I remember as a kid, my grandma used to give me like pennies and dimes and was like, "Go get yourself 6 scoops of ice cream." She was in her 80s at that point. It was like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm like, "Yo, grandma, I can't do anything with this at this point. Like, I need at least $1.50." You know what I'm saying? So
To get a few scoops of ice cream, you're right. You're
So you
right.
telling me when my grandma still thinks ice cream is 6 cents for 6 scoops, you think a politician knows that his cell phone is a mini computer at the age of 90?
Ain't no
No,
way, boy.
ain't no
Ain't no way,
way.
boy.
Ain't no way.
I'm over it. And it's like, and there's nothing wrong with being older. It's just the thought process itself. Like,
Yes.
are you one of those old people that got older and bitter because now you done wasted 40 years in this Congress and you even see that there's no change. Now you done wasted all this time. You couldn't even raise your children, right? Your children and your grandchildren hate you. So like I just don't get I don't get the choices sometimes. I just don't get the choices sometimes.
But I think people don't understand that all of that stuff is linked.
Mhm.
Age and how you perceive the world is linked to laws and how the things are being governed right now. And we
Mhm.
won't get real police reform until we get younger people who are living this. A lot of older people, especially in Congress, they got a nice little cushion on it. They got good money. They're not here in the streets every day. They're not seeing it. They're not living it. So we need people that are living this stuff This is why AOC is such a popular figure because she was just a bartender before she became congressman.
Who?
Uh, Alexander Ocasio Cortez. I
Oh,
probably
okay.
butcher her name. AOC. They can't stand
Okay.
that lady, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying it's people like that that we need. Real people that's lived real life to take these offices so they can understand what real life look like out here in these streets.
I'm so angry.
But we gotta
Let's
get
talk
back to
about
this. Hold on,
what.
we gotta get back. I got some statistics
Okay.
about because let's get this back into the police reform. I'm sorry, we start fussing about the government as a whole. My bad. It's
It's
on
the
me.
government for me.
All right, so I got this article from what is the name of this people? Rosenfield Injury Lawyers. All right,
I don't know who that is.
I
Oh,
don't know
that's
who
a
that
lawyer
is.
group.
Yeah, they're a lawyer group. And in this article, they are talking about police reform, uh, police brutality within, you know, a certain amount of years here. In recent years, the trend of people offed by police in America has increased significantly. Released data for 2020 revealed police shot and took out 1,021 people nationwide. Other
Hmm.
statistics involving police use of force include in 2020, the police uh, murdered 457. Okay, we're gonna say killed. Forget that. It's just too hard to substitute words in an article like this. In 2020, the police killed 457 white people and 241 black people out of the total 1,021 people killed by police officers that year. The
Okay.
Bureau of Justice Statistics reveals that African Americans in the United States are 3.5 times more likely than whites to be killed by officers when the victim was not attacking or did not have a weapon. And I think I'm gonna stop right there because that's a nuance that people tend to forget when we talk about these things. If you did the crime, you deserve to do your time and go to jail for it. No one's arguing against that.
Nope.
We are talking about the specifics of when you are not doing anything and you are living your life as a citizen, and you are doing the right things when they mistake who you are and become over aggressive because you question their authority or you ask them what grounds and you just didn't fall in line and then they attack you and or they take you out. This is the type of stuff we're talking about here. You have anything you want to add to that? Because I don't want to be talking this whole thing.
Those are the. I think those are the same statistics I found. Uh, they just were on a different website.
No, no. What website, Sam? Because I also understand that sometimes they look to different places and the information can be slightly different, slightly off
Let
by
me
one or two.
see. Let me see. Let me pull it up. Let me pull it up.
Like
But you
right
said
here.
3.5 times.
Yeah, this is in 2020, 3.5 times more likely.
Okay, so they reported in uh mhm. This was last updated February 15th, 2023. 1,106 people have been shot and killed by police in the past 12 months. The Washington Post has tracked, it said the Washington Post has tracked 8,229 fatal police shootings since 2015.
Wow,
That's a lot.
that is a lot. That's
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 major. That's too many.
that's shocking. Is major. Is sad.
True.
Um, if I'm not mistaken, during that time, it's saying that 1,914 uh black folks were killed and 3,643 white non-Hispanic was killed. 1,289 Hispanic and everyone in other it says 273.
Wow.
The Even though it shows that it was more white people killed, it's still the rate of a black person being killed is 5.9 million times higher than a white person.
Wow.
Um,
In this article, it just says 3 times higher.
um, the what is this? Because the reason why is because there's only 40 million black people that are a part of the population, and there are 192 million whites.
Yeah, and that's another thing. There are way more white people here in this country than there are black people. I think
Yes,
we're
most
like,
definitely.
what is that? Like 2017, 2018, we were at like 13%. And
Yeah,
speaking of
something.
that 13%, by the way, only in another article I read while researching this, and I don't have the article on me right now, but
Hmm.
they were saying that there were like 50% of police brutality murder cases that are not reported.
That are
They
not
are
reported
either they're not reported or they're missed. Um,
for like the media.
I think internally they misquote what happened, or they kind of sugarcoat it or change the narrative in their reporting. So it's been hard to track these things. So any organization that's been on this, that's been tracking, you kind of have to give them the props for it because they're doing a pretty good job at it. Um,
Hmm.
let's see. Right here it says a 2019 Rutgers University study found that police violence is the leading cause of death of young men in the United States.
Police violence is the leading cause of death for young men. Is that what you just said?
Yeah, that's what this article said. It said in
Not
2019.
heart attacks, not an accident, not a terminal illness.
Now that is something that I'm gonna have to research a little bit deeper because man, how? How? It says also in 2019, Boston University research report found that the extent of a city segregation is a predictor of white black racial disparity involved in deadly police shootings. I mean, we knew that though. We knew that you were more likely to have a bad perception on the black neighborhood versus the white neighborhood.
Most definitely.
So when I see people saying that they got out the hood and they don't look back, I don't really be that mad at them. It's safer not being, as far as police violence goes, it's safer not being in the hood.
As far as police violence, yes, I
Because
will
when
agree
you
to that.
leave the neighborhood, you can find other things that are, you know.
I will definitely agree to that.
Let's see, one more thing. In 2019, University of Maryland study found that an officer's ethnicity predicted the ethnicity of those they killed in over 9,000 encounters documented in the Washington Post fatal force data collection.
Also, they have a whole data collection. That's why they've been keeping track of it.
Yeah,
Washington Post saw something that we didn't see.
yeah.
And that was only 8 years ago. That wasn't even a whole 10 years ago. That over 8,000 people were killed. Also, when I did my search, I typed in unarmed. So that means unarmed. That means there was no type of weapon being used, and they didn't seem like a threat, and they were still killed.
I'm I'm disappointed in another statistic as well that we asked for body cams. Their officers not caring about body cams. Just like
We
in the
knew that
Nichols,
when they had passed that law, we knew that that was going to happen.
true. So it's like, what's the solution? What's the change? How do we keep asking for these reforms to come through and then they just found a way to write the law where they can kind of skirt around them, you
That's the
know?
whole point of the law. So they can skirt around it.
I know, and that's the scary part about it because
That's the scary part.
the only thing we're asking for is to have a police force that actually polices and care about the safety of the community. And we're not saying that there are not officers that don't do that. We know they are. We've seen them. I've talked to a few. I've seen the online reactions of a few. There are officers that are in their communities that are loved by their communities. But just because something is going good in one place, that does not negate all the bad that's happening as
Yeah.
well. And we understand that it's not every police officer. We do.
Yeah.
But at some point, something's got to break. And we have to fix this. And the question
How,
is,
BK? How?
and that's the question, what do we do? Like this, you can see every.
Pause. Hold that thought. All right, now say it.
Okay. So like this case in doggone internet.
That's
These
okay.
case like the case in Tennessee where they had body cams. Like I said earlier, they had the black police. I think she's the chief. Um, Black officers in the black community, and it still went wrong. It's still going wrong. What are we missing? Like,
I don't know.
what do we have to do to the police, or say to the police, or change about the police that we can fix these type of things?
I don't know, Sway.
Ain't got the answers for that one. I
I
don't.
ain't got the answers. What the freak? Like, and that's that's another thing that makes you angry as well, because it's like we don't even know at this point what can we do to for a change.
Because I feel like if you come down too strict on them, and I think this is where most politicians are on this line, the ones that actually care. If you come down too strict, then who's going to work the job? But at the same time, you can't really militarize them.
I'm
You can't militarize them, because if you militarize them, then they become too radical.
mm-hmm.
So, like, while we're talking about this, the irony of what to do does not elude me. Like, I understand that this is a really tough thing to figure out, but we have to keep trying. We
We
can't
have to
just be
keep
like,
trying.
yeah, we can't just keep letting things go the way they're going and be like, oh, well, it'll work itself out eventually. That's obviously not the case.
It's not going to work itself out. It's never going to happen.
You think
I'm
so?
stressed. Why do I feel stressed?
I don't know. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Um, because when we talk about this type of stuff, it always seems super disheartening, and it is. But I think we tend to forget that we've been living life this entire time, and we're gonna continue to live life, and that's all you can pretty much do. Live life and be as happy as you can. Do what you can at home.
And do what you
But
can.
vote though, like but vote.
Yeah, we still got to vote.
I think that's another thing in our communities that we keep overlooking. Sheriffs come up, you don't know who's running for sheriff. You have no idea what type of person they are, and you
Nope.
vote for the name that looks familiar or party lines.
Or the party alliance.
And
And
I think that's
that's a
the
big bad habit that we got to stop as a people too.
yes,
Just
yes.
because you agree with this party does not mean you got to agree with that person that represents your party.
And I think another thing we tend to forget about voting is the stuff that we usually, the identity politics part of it, that we usually side with people. Oh, they are Christians, so I'm going to vote for them. Or they are black, so I'm going to vote for them. Or they're white, so I'm going to vote for them. Or they're anti-religious, so I'm going to vote for them. Those things rarely even make skin tone aside. All the other identity, whether they're gay or straight or whatever part of the LGBTQ they're a part of, while it has been fun and exciting getting that initial, oh, we finally got a black guy, or we finally got an openly gay person, or we finally got an openly married gay person who married a man or married a female, that stuff is cool. But I think we are past all this celebration of the first thing, and we have to start really paying attention to what the politician is bringing to the table. What can they actually accomplish? If they're new, can they actually fight for something and
Mm.
stick to it? Will they be easily swayed? How many times has this person ran for office? And when they ran for office beforehand, what was their platform the first time? And what is their platform now? If they were a Democrat the first time, why are they no longer a Democrat now? You know? And I'm not saying that to because party line, I care about that. I don't. But if your views was conservative at one point, there have been a lot of politicians lately switching sides
Mm-hmm.
because it's easier for them to run in the other party, not
Yeah.
because it's a policy shift or anything like that. So you have to watch out for those type of things. It's all linked together, people.
Yeah.
Voting, your sheriff, just go out, just start paying attention. Just start paying attention because if we don't, man, we're gonna be in some huge trouble.
How you claim you woke but you still asleep?
Oh, can we? We're gonna talk about woke, but right now, hold up, because you know how I feel about the wokeness. But right now, we have our homie coming through, friend to the show, Damone Love, the original.
I made it. Thank you. Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, man. Welcome
I,
back to the show.
Welcome
no, thank
back.
you. I appreciate you for being patient. Sorry for being late. I was just wrapping some things up. I told Nova earlier, so
Come on,
it's a,
man.
it's,
We
it's a,
were we were on fire over here.
Yeah,
Slightly
man.
kind of stalling. No, I'm just kidding.
okay.
Okay, a
No,
little bit.
no,
A
no.
little bit.
I didn't even realize we were stalling so long, and because like my emotions started going for a hot little second there.
Oh, I see 42 minutes. So y'all been stalling for 42 minutes waiting on me.
That's why I said we was
No,
stalling,
we've been deep
stalling.
in this conversation for real though. But we're glad you're here. We
Hold
were
on one
just
second.
switching.
Hold on
Okay,
one second.
sure. We were
Go ahead.
just
I can hear
switching
you.
over. We were just switching over to talk about wokeness and how that is affecting the communities as a whole around here.
Yes,
So,
wokeness.
do you even remember what? I'm gonna mute you. Um, do you even remember what woke was originally, Novocaine?
Wasn't it supposed to be like? I thought it had something to do with like not believing everything you see, and I think it had something to do with that. I feel like it started with that.
Like, was there ever like a strict definition of the word woke? Or was it more like a feeling of things not going right or things not going in the way that they're supposed to be going in life, and you need to watch out for it, and you need to start paying attention to the things that's happening
I
around
think it
you?
was something like that.
I don't
It
know.
was just,
I think
I
I
mean, I
don't
know,
know.
but
it was
it's
just
it's
just more of a social consciousness awareness, really. Right.
Yeah.
Some people
Okay.
are how some people are just oblivious to the way things happen, and then like I said, woke just meaning you're aware of what's going on. Some people are unaware of um, other people's plights and the things people go through. So I think woke became a thing of just this is just being conscious of like woke conscious of what's actually going on, like kind of like I said, peeking behind the curtain, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
it
And
used to
then
be cool.
and then it just became this thing where they took it and it started to be like you started to use it as a weapon against other people,
True.
and it became more of like a status thing, like a clout chase, like I'm woke and you're not, like talking down on people, and um, instead
Now
of
it's starting
spreading
to
your word. Go ahead.
now it's starting to seem like it's a racial slur or something.
I think it
It
kind of
does.
is.
Kind of is at this
The
point.
evolution
Like,
of that word was weird.
yeah.
Like
But
you
I thought
said,
it
it
was
went
just
from
I
being
thought
but
it was just supposed to mean you wake up, I went to sleep and then I woke up. I
I
mean,
mean,
hey,
originally, that's
originally,
what
I
it
mean,
was.
you could take it in the concept of like Neo in the Matrix when he woke up. He's woke now. He's conscious. He's in this
true.
consciousness. So that would be considered like woke. The Matrix is the dream, and then when he
He was
became
woke.
Neo, when he became Neo, he was woke.
Okay. Yeah, I was digging because we was on a good evolution of the word for a second there. It went from just being aware to now, oh, I'm cool because I'm woke and I understand what's going on around, and you're not woke, to now an umbrella term that just means uh black stuff or LGBTQ stuff. And
Yes.
and that's only from a GOP standpoint. Because if you see it, they be like the lefties are woke, or and it annoys me. It annoys me like to my core that this is where that word we went from this being social aware, being aware of your surroundings, being knowledgeable about things that's happening about your government, about your neighborhoods and all that, to oh, the M&Ms are turning the character into taking the heels off a character, of one of the
Mm.
characters. That's woke.
I also think it might like I think over the years people just it's one of those things where people just the culture just changed the definition of it. Like people just started
Yeah.
using it out of context so much, and that new context became the new meaning of the word. Like that's not what it means today. Definitely is not what it meant 20 years ago. When somebody used to say, or maybe probably even 30 years ago, from my youth, when somebody used to say, "Oh yeah, bro," or said like they're woke, that
Like
was
Yeah,
drip.
definitely positive, definitely Afrocentric, definitely just aware of your roots, wherever you come from, where everything. So now it's kind of like you said, and now like I said, I think they still put that with put the prefixer on there with the fake woke. So now
yeah,
you're just acting like you know these things, or you. I go back to say like back then woke meant you were like for the people, for your people. Now like I said the fake woke is like now you're kind of woke, but you're against your own people.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's weird. It's kind of like what is that? The Uncle Tom thing, where
Right.
if you go back and read, Uncle Tom is not the character that we associate
So
with him,
correct. Right.
or thanks Obama, when they actually used to mean like, I can't believe you said that. Now it's a joke. I mean,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like the Obama phone thing, like, because everything had to be branded Obama back in the day. So you
The
got the free
Obama phone.
phones, it was a good thing, and it was
Obama
like,
phone,
thanks Obama.
Obamacare.
Yeah,
Obamacare.
and then it became like, oh, gas prices are up in 2021. Thanks
Thanks
Obama.
Obama.
Like,
I mean,
I,
but the silly thing about that is like Obamacare wasn't even an Obama thing. Obamacare was originally a Republican thing. It just passed
yeah,
on
it
his
was.
watch.
I think it
Mm.
was like
So
Mitt Romney. It was a
yeah,
model that he used
so
in his state in Utah.
right, but
Mm-hmm.
it gets passed under Obama and it becomes Obamacare. So people just really got to be careful of what they project on other people. And I I don't know what I I have an idea of how government works. I don't think the president controls gas prices.
No,
No,
Like
never.
definitely not.
I just
That's
don't. I don't think he wakes up and scrolls and say I want what I'm saying gas to be hot. Like that's just not one of his many functions. I think, but
Right.
I'm a
um,
I'm 100% sure that's OPEC, right? Like that
I'm
is
pretty sure.
definitely OPEC.
I'm pretty sure.
Those are a conglomerate of people that get together and like, we want more money, so let's raise gas prices.
I'm
yeah,
pretty
And then the
sure.
rest of the industry has to follow. But you're right though. Or it
uh,
might be Biden. Who
yeah.
knows?
Oh, who knows? Like yeah, oh, Biden just wakes up one morning like, yo, we need to raise the prices. Like
If he woke
really?
up,
It's
when he
gonna
wake up,
He woke.
he
He just woke up
shoot,
one
he
morning.
don't wake up until 12 o'clock in the afternoon,
Is he
those
and he
there?
gas
go take a
prices
nap
are
by
gonna
2.
skyrocket today.
He comes out of his sarcophagus around 12 o'clock in the afternoon. So just to clarify, y'all are saying the president lives in the crypt. This is what you're telling me. I'm just
Quiet
asking.
shit.
Is he
Allegedly.
Crypt Keeper now? President Crypt Keeper.
The,
Tales from the president's office.
the reason he doesn't appear before noon because his skin has to regenerate from the previous day.
And the sun isn't all the way up, so he
Yeah,
gotta wait.
Stop, man. Oh man. All
I
right. So
I
since
did,
you go ahead.
I just didn't expect that to be a thing. So
Man,
Oh man.
listen. All I know is people need to really read more than just Facebook.
Yes, please.
agreed.
Okay, okay,
Please.
because like you said, the president has nothing to do with gas prices. Also, I think everybody should take a economics class and learn those basics there.
We did. We were supposed to take the
We did.
economics
We did.
class.
Are
I
you
took
sure?
one.
We did. You. That's standard. Like that's high school
I
standard,
can't
right?
tell
They
with
teach
these conversations these people be having.
they teach you how government and society works. Like they teach you these things. We just don't pay it attention.
Well, they
No, we
should have
don't.
taken that class again or paid attention when they had it.
And if Florida has anything to do with it, man, we all in trouble. Because
Uh,
if DeSantis wins the presidency,
uh,
have y'all seen the education system in Florida?
No,
It's
thank
gonna get
you.
worse. It's gonna get worse.
No,
yeah.
You
thank
know
you.
what? Before we move on from this conversation, can I get your
What?
last question about this to you, Demo?
Oh,
What do you think about the police brutality in our current
yes.
uh in the
Uh,
year of
how,
our Lord 2023?
well, how much time do you have, BK? No,
I
um,
mean, we got like
That's why
9 minutes.
when you came on, it was 42 minutes. Okay, we was talking about police brutality and the
so
entire
I
maybe
I
about
think
30 minutes of that.
Yeah.
I think that they're I don't want to cause I think that they're terrorizing people. So I think that they're terrorists. They should be classified as terrorists. I
Mm.
think that they're a gang. I think that they abuse their power. Um, and I think that the police are operating in the exact manner that they were constructed to operate, and that was to control the populace and especially colored people, colored indigenous people. So they're doing exactly what they were doing, what they were designed to do. Um, can't stand them. Don't care when one of them dies. Um, I wish they would. And like I said, this is coming from somebody. One of my closest mentors is a police chief. Love the guy, a good chief. He has some very good ideas on how to kind of reconstruct the police, but because he's a black guy, they'll probably never listen to him. I don't think you should be able to be a policeman without getting a psych eval. I don't even think you should be able to be a policeman before you're 25, 30 years old. You haven't even lived life. That's like that's
Mm-hmm.
like that's like my son at 21 becoming a policeman. He's gonna have no empathy because he haven't lived life. He doesn't know anything. So
Mm.
there should definitely be an age standard. There should definitely be a mental standard. Um, and then they should definitely even be a fucking character test. Hire good people to be cops. Like quit hiring these, like say Klan members or people that are racist or like I said, do your background. It's like I got vetted more working at Burlington Coat Factory than a policeman has to get vetted to become a policeman.
It's
And
a
I
fact.
Oh
and I
wow.
and I don't control life or death. I don't control having to control over people's finance. Having people make people spend absorbent amounts of money and it took more to get in there to fucking fold clothes than it does for a dude to carry a gun on his hip and police the population. That's how I feel.
Wow, I think that's a good place to button up this conversation because I did definitely want to talk about the whole Cop City thing, but we are running low on time and we have a whole nother segment to get to. But have y'all heard of Cop City though?
No, what's Cop City?
Oh man, outside of Atlanta, there's like this amusement park. Basically, it seems like it's not really an amusement park,
Of
but
course,
it's
it's
like this
outside of
big
Atlanta.
old huge area where they are building this cop training facility. And they got like a bar and little uh test cities and like a
to,
playground for the kids.
to be more proficient at killing Negroes.
That's
That's
what
what
it
it
sounds
sounds like.
like.
Oh,
Okay,
There's a
thanks.
there's a there's
Because
a
that's
group of
exactly what it sounds like.
that's what it
I was
sounds like.
watching the
Yeah.
Daily Show on it. Shout out to Roy Wood Jr. That's a home state right there. Um, there was this I don't want to say militia, but there's this group of volunteers outside of Cop City, and they have
Mm.
been slowing down the construction of it, and they're just living in the woods out there. And every time they get ready to start construction, they find ways to shut it down or delay it as much as possible. So shout out to them. I hope they're still out there working. It's been like a week or two since I've studied up on it, but I think that's crazy.
Man, black militia is a thing. Like I love it. Like
Cop City.
Yeah,
uh,
that's a scary thing, man.
let's go live in the woods and prevent them from building Cop City. Like I'm with that. Like
I
send me
will.
the application.
I have to say that it is multicultural. It seems to be LGBTQ, black,
It's a
white.
Okay.
diversity team.
So what?
So they have a good diversity team.
Oh yeah, like they living in trees and they
I
will
can see that.
they would chuck shit at you too.
I can see that. I mean, it's about survival. It's about your basic survival instinct. So I'm with it. Never heard of it, but I'm with it. Like, let's do it. Like,
I thought about I thought about Without a Paddle when you said that this movie I think it came out like 01, 2000 or something.
Yeah, I remember Without a
Seth
Paddle.
Green
That
is
was
in
my
it.
stuff.
Some other two guys I can't remember. Shaggy, the guy that plays Shaggy, he's in it,
Yeah,
and some other guy I can't remember his name. But the girls were living in the tree, and that's exactly what they did. They was chucking shit at people.
shout out to
that that's a little
Go ahead.
extreme for me. No, I was just saying that's a little extreme for me. But I mean, if it gets the job done, do it.
If you living in
Right.
a tree, where the shit gonna go?
I
I
don't know.
mean,
Look, just
it can
watch
go
your step when you go in the hood though.
directly down. You don't have to chuck it at people. Like
They were
that's
shitting in bags.
Well, I don't know if they're checking it at people, but I do know they. Yeah, that's what's happening. They put it in
They
the
was
bags and they
shitting in
drop
the
it
bag.
down. It was like, watch your step out here, though. Watch your step. And if I work, look, if I'm a construction worker, I'm not stepping in that. No, no, you're not
Designated
paying me enough. Shout
designated
out to
poop
Ouija Box
area.
and Wisdom Over Feelings, by the way. Y'all go follow them on YouTube.
Everything
That's fam right there.
on everything.
Is anybody that? Oh, okay. I just learned how to switch to the comments. Okay.
Yeah, that's my favorite spot. I'm really not used to this program still, but anyway, Novocaine. Guess what time it is?
Let's do it.
It's time for the B side. It's like my favorite graphic ever.
Every time that music get the popping, I feel like, hey.
Did you just all of a sudden move to Compton? Is that what's happening here?
Yeah, out of nowhere. That's
Uh,
exactly
were
every
you
time that Drake
were
come on.
you crip walking with your hands?
Yes, you saw.
It's like
I ain't never seen that. That's new. You about to start a whole thing on TikTok right now.
I was actually
I'm sorry,
that was,
guys, for the headphones.
that was actually pretty
Anybody
slick.
wearing headphones, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's
All
actually
right.
pretty slick.
All right. All right. What are we talking about today on the B side? Novocaine.
Breezy. We talking about. I almost forgot for a hot second. You know, that first half of the show is like we are talking about Chris Brown and this fake outrage that is surrounding him at the moment. It
I
might not
saw
be fake outrage for some people, but
I
I
saw
think
it trending again. What's going on with Breezy?
okay. So, well, it's Chloe
You gotta start
Bailey.
at the hold on. You gotta start
Wait,
at the Grammys. You
what
gotta
happened at
start
the Grammys?
after the Grammys. This is the first time he was trending in the past couple.
Oh,
Right
that
after
must
the
didn't blow
Grammys,
up as big as this Chloe
he
Bailey
didn't
stuff.
win. He didn't win. What was it? Best album?
Oh, and he said, "Who is that guy?"
Yeah, because Robert Glasper won, and he said, "Who was Robert Glasper?" And listen, and I no disrespect to Robert Glasper, I didn't know who he was
Who
either.
is Rob? I'm about to say, who is he?
I don't
He's
know.
an R&B artist.
I,
Yeah,
I don't
he's
I don't even know who Chloe Bailey is. And when we get to that, I'm gonna be lost.
Mm,
I've seen her.
We
I've seen her name before, but you can put her picture up right now. 3 girls, and I couldn't guess which one is her.
oh yeah, I
okay.
forgot to do this though. There we go. Now
Why you pick this picture?
I, I
I should
think
have picked the picture. I
I
should have
think
picked.
I think that should be a segment next time we come on. You put up 3 popular people or people that are trending and try to have me guess them, and I'm probably not gonna know who they
All
are.
right,
that
bet.
sounds like one of those side hustles we gonna do. We got a movie night coming up. I think Wednesday. This
Yeah,
Wednesday coming
Wednesday
up.
night.
You should definitely maybe we have time to play at the end of the movie night.
Yes,
But yeah, and also I like putting up photos now to make you say, why did you choose that pic? We gotta have at least
uh,
one every episode.
I know. It's just this picture specifically.
When I
My
synced it, I was
man's got
like, this is
the
the one today. This
my
is the
man's
one.
got the 1997 3D glasses hair going on.
The vest though. I mean, he dressed better than me. I just do t-shirts, so
The vest is okay. I don't know about that collar, but the vest is okay. But the hair,
Is that
shout
a
out to
sweater?
Rick.
That's not a sweater, ain't it?
yeah, it's a sweater. It's a
It's
sweater.
a
I thought it
sweater
was a
vest.
sweater
Oh,
vest.
Sweater
No,
vest.
that's a
no,
The
it's a
sweater.
sweater.
collars.
It's a whole sweater. It's a whole
That thing
sweater.
knitted.
Let's not
Hey,
joan
It's
on this
hey,
knitted.
man
look.
and his outfit.
Hey, listen. You can't. You really can't say nothing bad about Breezy when I'm around. Like I'm a Breezy. I like Breezy.
Okay. Okay, me
I mean, I
too.
like Breezy
I
too.
have a love hate thing going on with him because we've talked about this on the show. So we're gonna move on from Robert Glasper. A lot
Yeah,
of us
let's move
didn't
on.
know who Robert Glasper was. You know,
That's
I
the segment.
did. I did
Sounds
end
like a
up.
talented man. I'm happy
Oh,
for
I
it.
ended up watching. I mean, listening to the album that won. A few songs on there. It wasn't bad. You know,
So
he
shout
had
out
some
to
nice
Robert.
features.
Go listen to Robert.
Yeah, Robert was and it was definitely given the R&B feel. You know.
Hold on. Before we switch over, he did right after that happened. He did drop a "Who Was Robert Glasper" shirt, and that boy was selling out. So clap it up for the ingenuity on that.
That's
That was
smart.
Rihanna levels. Rihanna
That's
levels.
definitely smart. Definitely smart. But
He dropped it.
Yeah,
so, and I'm pretty sure after that, because like I said, I'm pretty sure his streams went up. I'm pretty sure
yeah.
everything. So, thank you,
Even
Breezy.
for Robert, his streams went up
That's what I'm
because
saying.
people,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm not talking about. I'm talking about Robert. I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
after
Robert. Yeah.
Chris Brown said his name, his streams went up.
Listen,
I ain't
anything
got a picture
attached
of
to Chris
Rob, bro.
Brown, everything's gonna go up. Okay.
But that's what I was telling people. Just off subject real quick about like Rihanna and the Super Bowl, and she did it for free, and people. But you seen the next day her streams were up like 680%. Her
Yeah,
makeup sales was up like 600%. Like that's why you do the
it was
Super
a
Bowl for
fashion
free.
show for
Yeah,
her. Even the outfits that the dancers wore
yeah.
went on sale that
It's,
night.
I
Mm-hmm.
think once we learn, that's another thing you need to start giving your audience notes, like saying go study advertising and
Marketing.
I forget. Yeah, marketing. I'm about to say go study marketing. Go study, saying supply and demand. Study those things to learn why sometimes these people do the things that they do. Like,
And
That's a
that
good
is a
tip. That's a good
great
tip.
segue into this Chloe Bailey news because I really feel like she's doing this. That's a great picture, by the way.
no,
That's a great
no
picture.
clue, no clue,
This Beyonce's
no
protege,
clue,
bro.
no clue.
One of them.
Hey, okay, so Hallie and Chloe are sisters. They've been around for a nice little minute now. They started
Holly's
out
Little
with
Mermaid.
yes,
Cheetah girl
Hallie is the
is
Little
either one of
Mermaid.
them a cheetah girl or
They were
the
not
Little
cheetah girls.
Mermaid?
They were
I'm
way
just
too.
asking.
They're
If
way too young for that.
it's not the cheetah girls or who the other ones, who's the city girls?
If it's
I,
not the cheetah girls, they're the city girls.
I barely know who the City Girls
Oh,
is, too. I'm going to be real with you. I
So
don't know either.
so
I
Chloe
think
has
I
branched.
love I
Well,
love being ignorant. I love my ignorance in this stuff. Like I love it. Like I'm,
Hallie, okay, so Hallie has been more going into her acting bag, but they're
okay,
both great singers, performers,
okay.
and everything. They were signed by Beyonce 2014, 15, something like that. So they're like
Yeah.
Beyonce proteges or whatever.
So you said they sold their soul in 2015. Go ahead.
Oh,
They
gosh.
weren't even old enough. They were still kids.
You can sign blood in
This is
2015. Stop it.
this is the wildest B-side so far.
This
It's just
is the wildest B-side.
I figure now you asked me to come, so I figure now you know what you get when you ask me to come.
Exactly.
And the thing is, you
okay,
don't know what you're gonna get. So let's just go.
So Chloe branched off from her sister because her sister is in her acting bag, so they can't
Okay.
make a lot of music together. Chloe's been making her own music. A lot of the songs have been kind of hit or miss. There's been a couple of songs that kind of hit, but
Did they used to do clips together, like singing and
yeah.
post clips? Okay.
yes, that's
Okay.
how they
Okay.
got
Okay. Okay.
famous. That's
Okay.
exactly how they got.
Let's go.
He's like, I'm in there now.
They used
We
to
Let's
they
we
used
go.
to
we
do
caught up.
covers.
We caught up.
And it actually was a huge era of YouTube where people was doing
Doing
covers and everything.
covers.
So
Okay.
they were like the top of doing those
Yeah.
covers.
Okay. Got you. I'm there.
Beyonce chose well.
So Chloe has a song coming out with Chris Brown. When this
Okay.
promo came out, everybody lost it. They were losing it. Oh, you're gonna make a song with an abuser, a colorist. Why are you doing this, Chloe? You failed us all.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they are really not happy about this collaboration, man. I
at
don't
all.
Who are they? Who are these internet people? These
You
internets?
know the internet people.
the Twitter folks. I seen one. It was like, how dare? Why would you do this to yourself? It was so many other artists that you could have chose. And
Is this how we get? Is this how we circle around to the fake woke folks?
yes,
Okay.
yes,
Oh, listen. Uh,
he was like, we in here. We in there.
okay.
That's exactly how we circle right back around.
Yeah, because
Because
go
Chris
ahead.
Brown hasn't stopped making music. Most
Nor has he
people
stopped collaborating with women.
no, and he has made endless songs with just about everybody, even after the Rihanna situation, even after the allegations with Karuchi, even after the one picture, that we're still not too sure. For me, I think that he may have choked her out a little bit, but hey, that's who knows?
We
I
don't.
still listen to his music. I don't. I'm
Like,
sorry.
like a couple. Wasn't this dude still getting like a grand or 1,500 to pop a picture like a couple of months ago for appearances?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
So it's
Chris
safe to
Brown
say.
still sell out on his tours. He still sell out when he does club appearances. Like he's still getting paid. He's still getting paid. He's still getting contracts. Like it's a little fake and ridiculous. So Chris Brown started going off on the internet. of course, people love when the celebrities go crazy on the internet, and he started like going after all of these white actors and performers,
Yeah, I think Sean
entertainers,
Penn
and
was
we're
one of
talking
them.
about like their domestic abuse and their history with it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was a little shocked because he made what he's saying is valid points. We love to tear down our own people. There were people that was named like I think I know about Mickey Rourke. I think I knew about Mickey Rourke. I did not know about Nicolas Cage. Um, and Emma Roberts. She beat up Evan Peters.
Hmm.
I did not know that.
Emma Roberts, she's the girl that
Um,
was in We're the Millers. That's the main movie I could remember her from.
And they're gonna act like, oh, it was
And
just
Evan
because they
Peters,
were drunk, or it was just because
see,
they had a one bad night. You
and
know?
Evan Peters is Quicksilver, the
oh yeah,
other
yeah.
Quicksilver.
No,
Wait,
he's Rap Boner.
No,
he's
Evan
from
Peters is Jeffrey Dahmer.
American Horror
Right,
Story.
you're right.
Yes, that's all the same person.
I mean, people don't talk like people love Aerosmith. People love what's his name, Steven Tyler. They don't.
Steven Tyler.
They don't. He tried to kill one of his baby mamas. He had somebody set the house on fire. Like there's
Wow,
so
I
many
didn't know that.
stories. Yeah, there's so many stories about like I said, white celebrities that have these. I mean, you can't even say indiscretions. Have these horrible acts that never gets brought up or gets pushed to the side or it just kind of fades over time. And here you got this guy who every time something comes up, it reverts back to the Rihanna thing and everything he does, which is
Facts.
cool. It's my thing is if you're just gonna hold one person accountable, just be consistent, hold everybody accountable.
Yeah.
And we all
Yes.
we all pick and choose who we like based on who we like based on what we're going to say about that person. If you're going to be a person that's just against um, domestic violence and rape and all this other stuff, but then and like you said, it's blasphemy. I love the guy, but you can't be that way if you love Tupac. If he was convicted of a sexual crime, like
Exactly. He went to
like
jail
There
for
you
that.
he
go.
went to jail for it. Mike Tyson went to jail for it. Whether it was true or not, they were convicted and did time,
Yep.
and people forgave them. But it's like you want to crucify people that weren't even convicted of crimes just off of rumor and innuendo or whatever. So it's like
It's
you
especially the
can't.
people that go back on Rihanna.
Yeah,
Rihanna, I feel like she forgave him in so many different ways. And then they recorded a song together. A lot of people
Yep.
forget that Rihanna and Chris Brown put out a song. What year was this?
yeah.
2012
So
on
she's
her
still,
Unapologetic album.
Yeah.
yeah.
I think it
Even
was
though
like,
even though I think she played him though.
I still think they was fighting each other. It's just that Chris Brown beat the
yeah,
hell out of her. Like that's
Yeah,
that's how I feel. Like
yeah. I
if
know.
you go and put your hands on somebody,
That part, like,
you have
I
to
kind of
be
especially,
ready
especially
for the
now,
repercussions.
yeah,
Yeah.
I kind of
especially
feel
nowadays. That's
I kind
gotta
of
have
I kind of feel the same.
people really.
But like you said, but that's between them two. If he forgave her, who am I to say I don't like Rihanna before she did to Chris Brown? I don't
Yeah.
Exactly.
fuck with her, but Chris Brown fuck with her. Like that's stupid.
At some point, you
Exactly.
got to move on. You got to forgive.
Yeah,
Just like you have to. Just
yeah.
like those other artists and people he brought up in his Instagram. We moved on from that stuff. Some of this stuff happened and we didn't even know about it. But yet, lo and behold, because y'all have this affinity for Rihanna, which is fine, but it becomes toxic after a while. And this is you become the thing that you've been fighting against this whole time.
Correct.
You become
And
the monster.
yeah, they're horrible, and it just doesn't do anybody any good. And let's say they're horrible, they're miserable, and at the end of the day, it really doesn't make a difference because it's not you're not really stopping. You can count probably on one hand. You're not really stopping nobody's bag because if they got a core
No.
group of people that mess with them, they're gonna still get paid. Even like I said, whoever Takashi 69, he's still getting money. He might not
He
be
is.
making, he's
Exactly.
still making money because he has a core group. So this thing that we can cancel and stop people's bag, it's not going to stop their bag.
Nope.
And
So
you wouldn't care about it if your
And
bag
I
was up. You wouldn't care about it.
hold
and
on,
I'm
before you
looking
say that,
forward.
Huh?
hold
Go
on.
ahead.
I,
In
I'm,
the video game, what you just mentioned, that's called being a whale. And those are
mhm.
those people who have extra money to spend money on whatever they want to. They
Mhm.
are going to be filling that bag, like you said, every time. So trying to stop it or making some grand gesture on Twitter, which by the way, nobody really cares about how angry you are on Twitter anymore. It's it's,
It's not a thing.
it's not a
It's
thing.
fake.
I'm
It's
sorry.
fake.
Go
It's
ahead,
just
Nova.
no. I'm just go ahead. I'm just saying it's not a real thing. Like people
It's
really
fake.
think people really think Twitter gives them power.
It doesn't.
And it doesn't. And it used to give people a voice until it gave everybody a voice. Now it's just chatter. So don't nobody paying no attention. No, Twitter doesn't do. Twitter does not bother me one bit. I don't think I've ever been dragged on Twitter, but it wouldn't bother me because
I have.
like Dave Chappelle said. I mean, I'm pretty sure I have because I didn't put some stuff on there.
What you do, BK?
Twitter's not even a real place.
It's not even a real place.
You can't
Okay.
go to my house.
Wait.
Let me tell you. All right.
It was
So this is
feminazis,
like,
wasn't it? It was feminazis.
this is no. It was like 2013, 2012, something like that. Whenever Twitter was first still in its infancy, it's not the juggernaut that it is now. I was just out there and I shared my thoughts. By the way, at this point, like no one was looking at my tweets for real. So I just mentioned that to me, it sounds like if you are an atheist, you still believe in something because it feels like that you were believing in the nothing, but the nothing is the thing you believed in. And it was semi a joke, right? And they came out in droves. Like I was like, oh gosh. And I was fighting back. It was fun for me.
They came out the void to get you.
Yeah. I was like, I'm just saying you don't believe in not anything. That's all I was saying.
I learned how to Twitter from Erykah Badu. I put out what I put out, and if somebody say about it, I put my location up.
Amo.
No, I wasn't gonna do that, man. That atheist group on Twitter, they had friends on top of friends. I don't know if it's like a little conglomerate of them. They were deep. They're
fake. They're fake. Because in real life, they ain't gonna bust a grape.
No, not at all. I didn't really care. I thought it was funny.
That's one of my favorite lines. You know, the tight, loud as a motorbike, but wouldn't bust a grape in a fruit fight.
So it's like, come on, man. Like, be real with yourself. I'm gonna go in here. I'm gonna hit you with some stern words. You gonna get the fuck out of here.
Hey, somebody told me on IG, you better be glad that I don't want to be blocked. And I was like, whoa.
You know how many? I mean, no, but like through Facebook,
no.
You know how much stuff I put on Facebook, put my phone down, wake up in the middle of the night and see it's going off, and then just turn my phone over and go back to sleep. Like, I don't care. I don't even. Most of the stuff I put up, I don't even give my opinion of it or reaction to it. I just do it for other people to do it, and they bite every time.
They bite every time.
Did you monetize yourself yet? Go ahead and monetize yourself.
You need to.
I haven't. It's just fun. It's just fun for me.
You can make a couple of little dollars off of Facebook right quick. I ain't even gonna hold you. Because they be, maybe like you said, they come out in droves. Like one person say something, bing, 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 bing.
Yeah, you hit the right community. It's on. Shout out to Terrence Turtle Boy. Make sure you follow him over there on the Twitch. That's Turtle Boy BWOY.
But I am actually excited for this Chloe Bailey and Chris Brown song.
I don't find nothing wrong with that.
But just one more thing too.
I like Chris Brown's music.
I just want to add too that America loves a comeback story. Like they love it. So when people go down and come back, like they eat that stuff up. So a lot of it is, like you said, marketing and PR and stuff like that. So and like you said, now you talking about it, I want to hear the song. Like, and I'm not even like on, but I would want to hear it because this is what everybody's talking about. So
when it drop, I'll send it to you.
Case in point.
I was bluffing, but go ahead.
Case in point. Everybody's
you play poker, right?
I mentioned last week that everybody was outraged about this Harry Potter game that dropped.
That was fake outrage.
And no, I don't know. I think people really are mad, but at the same time, it's so many people that bought the game.
That's what I'm saying.
It's really hard to go against the conglomerate people. Like, again, that's like me trying to say don't eat Nestle, anything from Nestle. Do you know how many Nestle products are on your store shelves? Like most of them.
A third of them.
And they don't even say Nestle.
But see, the thing is, it's like that's the first thing I seen the reaction for the game is a lot of people who I didn't watch the movies, but I don't like the game. If you didn't watch the movies, why did you buy the game? If you didn't read the books, why buy the game? Like, that's just stupid.
Right? But I think people get upset about, for a lot of people, me included, with this Flash movie, right? I don't really
Okay.
want to go support Ezra Miller. I don't. But
I'm
Michael
not.
Keaton is there though. But Michael Keaton is there, and that's y'all know that's my favorite
But
Batman.
See,
I'm not supporting Ezra, but I want to see the movie.
see,
Yeah, I want to see
see,
him die.
see.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert, because it's gotta happen at this point. It gotta happen at this
If
point.
the Flash don't turn the bones at the end of this, I'm rioting at the theater. I don't even know if I'm going to the
I'm
theater.
not
I ain't
going
been
to
to the
the.
theater
So
to see
that's what I was
DC
gonna
movies.
say. That's what I was gonna
He's
say
gonna.
because
He's
I
gonna.
want to watch the movie too, but I'm definitely not supporting Ezra. But they have Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck is coming back. Both of them are coming back. So
That's just
it's
what we
like,
know.
and that's just
Right?
what we know. So ain't no telling who else is gonna make an appearance, you know. And we also have Supergirl in the film as well. So it's like, oh, when I saw that Super Bowl spot, I was like, that's how the people are going to come.
Oh,
But
Michael Keaton.
but they have been. He's Turtle Boy said Michael Keaton was the Lord for everyone to come out.
Yeah.
They've been saying they were going to bring Michael Keaton in and make him
But
tie
what about the
everything in
people that
together.
didn't know?
yeah, it's still like we are a small community
No, no,
when
no,
it
no.
comes down to knowing stuff.
I'm saying
We know.
right, right. So it's like me seeing Michael Keaton wasn't like a big surprise. Oh, like what I'm saying, I'm hoping
But
we get
that's
some.
how they're gonna get the people.
Hoping we get
Um,
some Batman Beyond out of this.
I wasn't surprised,
That wouldn't
but
be bad.
I was excited, and when I heard the music, I did get goosebumps. So
I
I
didn't even
felt
pay
like I
attention
was
to
I
the
felt like I was
tune.
like 5 or 6 again.
I
I
didn't
did.
even pay attention to the tune until I watched it the second time. You
At,
stupid.
at this point, I don't care what DC comes out with, but I have to admit this movie did catch the trailer did catch my attention. I'm like,
What
oh,
if this is the best DC film
what
in
if it's the
years?
best? What if it's the best
I'm
one ever?
sad
Like
that it might be.
I'm
I'm
scared that it
sad
might
that it
be.
might be. I'm like, yo, this is going off right
The
now.
trailer
this,
is definitely given one of the best. That's for sure. It's definitely given, oh, you want to see this movie. And it's like, how am I going to do it? How am I going to pull this off? Because I don't want to be spoiled by it. So what, I'm going to disappear off of the
it's
interwebs for 45 days? Like,
this. This is easily going to be either the best DC or the worst DC movie. It's going to be. There's not going to be any in between. It's going to be the best one or the worst one.
I'm going in for disappointment. I'm just gonna be real. I'm bracing. I'm bracing
I'm
myself.
I'm cautiously optimistic. Like this might actually be like, yo, this was fucking good.
Dang,
then
I hate
and
they
then
had to take
and,
the flash out for this.
and then watch the Bring Ezra Back campaign start.
please
Oh
no.
gosh. I
No.
bet I was about to end the
Don't bring it up.
show.
Don't bring that
Don't
up.
jinx
They're
that.
gonna.
You right though.
I'm just telling you
You're
what
right.
You
people.
right.
I'm telling you
Especially if
what
it's the
people are gonna
best.
do. If it's the best,
Especially if
watch
it's the
people are
best.
gonna bring Ezra back. Watch. Just watch. We can predict human behavior because they're so unsophisticated. They're gonna bring Ezra back. We forgive
I don't
Ezra.
ever want to bring Ezra back. It sucks. This Flash movie almost didn't happen.
It
They've been in
shouldn't.
production for like 5 years for this freaking movie.
It really shouldn't happen, but that is here.
It's here.
I'm not mad that it's here. I'm not mad that
It's
it
here.
might make the world burn. I'm not mad if people. I'm not mad if I gotta walk through feces in the parking lot to get to the.
The callback.
People are going to be
The callbacks.
going to be protesting this one. They're not playing with you guys.
All right. We gotta end the show because we're way into overtime. Listen, Jamal, thanks for coming through, man. This has been
Thank you.
a
Thanks for having
blast.
me. Thanks
As
for having me.
always, it's always a blast when the moon comes through.
I
Yeah, you gotta
appreciate you
come back
guys.
through.
It's nothing but love. Yeah,
Always.
just get those pictures ready so I can flame out. so I can flame out horribly and you can make fun of me.
Yes.
My son talks to me about stuff and I'm like, who? He's like, you're serious, aren't you? Like, no, I don't know who these niggas are, yo. Nigga, I have no clue who you're talking about, my man.
Then he got to put the pieces together for you.
My daughter knows better. She like, you don't even know who I'm talking about. She be talking about Blueface and his girlfriend. I'm like, them your fake cousins or something.
Before we end,
No.
circling back, Chris Brown did say, you guys want to keep on tearing him down, but you watch Blueface and Krishan beat the living shit out of each other each week. That's what he said.
probably a mirror of what Rihanna and Chris Brown was doing, probably. And I don't even think it's a mirror. I think she was definitely the aggressor. But we're gonna get off BK's internet.
My internet.
Right
hold
now.
on, who the fake cousins?
Who fake cousins?
Blueface and Kershawn, or what's
They
her
fake
name?
cousins? They
No,
I
I call them my daughter's fake cousins because she's in their business.
Did I miss that just now?
Yeah.
think so. It was so much in like 2 minutes.
I'm like, you watching your fake cousins? She's like, yeah, like, I'm in it. They have my daughter like The Last of Us has me. They have her in a chokehold.
Oh,
I'm
The
not
Last
even
of
going
Us.
for. I almost
I
was
just
like, do I need
started
to get Zeus to see this? Like, because every time I hit Twitter, it's like,
I'm not. Don't watch that show. Don't watch it. Watch it through Twitter because they got like the clips and everything. So watch it through Twitter.
I enjoy the commentary, watching people explode when stuff happened. Like the last one where that backseat action was happening on camera. I don't want to say what it was out loud.
Who's backseat action? Who are you talking about?
They were doing adult things in the backseat of a car on camera.
Blueface.
Yeah.
I didn't even know this.
Yeah, I seen the clip. It was on Facebook of all places.
Last thing, I didn't know their names, so I called them Blueface and Toothface. So
with that,
you tried to end the show and it just broke up on them. Blueface and Toothface.
Let me tell you about this internet, man. Let me tell you about this internet today. Dear provider, every day I'm on this computer, nothing happens. But the moment I need to end the show, you start tripping. Every time.
I'm done.
I'm ending the show.
Let's do it.
Thank you guys for coming through. It was a hell of a show. Again, Damone, thank you for coming through. It's always a blast having you on.
Thank you.
Make sure you guys go check out that Indie Club new single on YouTube, Black and Blue. It's a great video. Make sure y'all check out Turtle Boy on Twitch. And make sure y'all also right here on YouTube, check out Wisdom Over Feelings. That's fam right there. And Ouija Voss, y'all know he shows up sometime here as well. So make sure y'all go support them. Thank you guys for coming through to the show today. It was a blast. It was a great conversation. Had a good time. I have been the BK Spades here with my very lovely co-host.
Saying the last other part.
And you are absolutely right. I am sorry. Do me a favor and head over to I'm gonna fix it in editing.
Okay.
Head over to www.thebkspadeshow.com where you can find everything you need to know about the show. Novocaine, let them know what else they got to do for us.
Head over to Apple Podcasts, leave us a 5-star rating and a written review. Then head over to Spotify, leave us another 5-star rating. And just, hang out. Follow us. Subscribe, share.
Make sure you share, and subscribe.
Add the show on the podcast app because I can have you guys added to my podcast.
Okay.
On Apple.
Bad. Yeah, do that too on Apple and Spotify. And anywhere else you are watching the show. Good. Can y'all tell he's like the professional on the screen right now? Because man's just came in with gems and all types of stuff. Anyway, that's it. That's it for me. I'm playing the theme song right now.
Oh.
Can y'all see it? You're in my library.
Oh man, we're moving up. Y'all know, can y'all tell these live things be throwing me off my game? I have been the BK Spades here with my very lovely co-host
Novocaine, baby.
We are out.